Larian Studios just posted a couple of tweets or posts, whatever they're called on X now. But they posted a few pictures here, which is Baldur's Gate 3 in numbers. And I just wanted to go over this with you guys. I thought it'd be fun. Or at least I thought that these stats were kind of interesting. So 1.3 million players have completed the game so far, which is awesome. I mean, that's individual players, I assume, so that's a lot of people who have played the game. And 94% of players created a custom character, which is honestly what I figured as well. I actually thought that this would be a little bit higher. I guess probably the other percentages are mostly the Dark Urge, I would assume. Since that doesn't count as a custom character, the Dark Urge counts as an origin character. And it seems like not a lot of people are interested, I guess, in running the campaign as an origin character, which is kind of interesting. But it honestly, I expected that from browsing all the different subreddits and Discord and talking to my friends who have all played it. Almost everybody is rolling a custom character, which is awesome. Which is exactly what Larian Studios suggested that people do at the start of their journey, is to run a custom character. And it says in total, players have spent a combined 8,196 years in the character creator. I believe that. It's only gotten better, and then with mods have added so much customization. It's, yeah, totally believable. 1.24 million players have been transformed into a sentient wheel of cheese. I am one of the people who have not. I guess that happens at the circus or something like that, but I have not personally experienced that, so that's kind of cool. I'm doing a couple runs right now, so maybe I'll get turned into a wheel of cheese. Y'all will have to tune in to my live stream to check that out. Alright, origin character selection. Gale remains the most played origin character in the game, closely followed by Astarion. This was kind of expected, in my opinion. Well, I actually figured that Gale would be at the top, and then Astarion, and then Lae'zel. Like, that's how I would have laid out the top three, or maybe like Shadowheart. Just because Gale and Lae'zel have such massive story arcs in the game. They tie in really well to the major set pieces of the game, the major plot line, and all that stuff. And Shadowheart as well, obviously, throughout the entire game, even starting from Act 1, she's always present. So I kind of expected them to be higher than Karlach and Will. But, so, yeah, kind of an interesting stat spread there. Class choices, pretty much what I expected. We have Cleric at the bottom, which is probably due to Shadowheart, since everybody knows you get Shadowheart as a Cleric, and for the most part, she stays in the party, at least from what I read on Reddit and Discords and stuff like that. She seems to be a mainstay in everybody's party. But Paladins are super popular, even in normal tabletop D&D. They are probably the most popular class. They're extremely powerful, very versatile, and they just have a cool sort of like vision to them. You know, holy warrior, or in the case of an Oath of Ancients, you know, you're a holy warrior of the living world, etc. It's really cool. Sorcerers, of course, are extremely powerful, so they've been very popular for solo runs, very popular for tactician, and probably now even more popular for the honor mode, because you only get that one life, so that sorcerer, twin haste, and chain lightning is gonna really help you out a lot in honor mode. Fighters are extremely strong, and the rest of these are kind of, you know, is what I expected. I'm actually kind of surprised to see Druid so high. I figured that Ranger would have been above them. Druids are not the most popular class, even in tabletop. They are very unpopular, but that could be because in tabletop, you rely a lot on the DM and a lot of imagination with your wild shapes. A lot of DMs can be very restrictive, so it's cool to see them more towards the middle than at the bottom, because druids are one of my favorites. It is kind of strange to see wizards so low, like below warlock. I would have expected them to be higher because wizards are extremely powerful. They're almost as powerful as sorcerers, but of course they don't get the sorcery points and all the stuff that sorcerers get, but they get to cast more stuff, and they're always powerful no matter what. I mean, high level spells are high level spells no matter who you're casting as a sorcerer or a wizard. It doesn't matter. But yeah, very interesting. Like class choice, the tops and the bottom is what I pretty much expected. Now the race choices, elves are always at top. There's a reason why, like in normal D&D, again, sorry to bring up normal D&D again, but elves are extremely popular in normal tabletop D&D. And actually, if you go on to D&D Beyond or are interested in all the different flavors of elves that there are in D&D, there are probably close to 50, 100 different sub-races of elves that the creators of D&D have come up with, and people homebrew. Elves are super popular, so it's kind of a... Yeah, I always expected them to be on top. Human is, again, kind of surprising, but also not at the same time. Humans get a lot. They get a lot, along with half-elves, because humans get that shield proficiency and proficiency in a couple weapons, and an extra skill that they can choose, which is cool, which is what I chose for my Dark Urge run. I wanted to be, my Dark Urge Ranger, so I could basically kind of be like a skill monkey, and that really helps you be a skill monkey is humans. Tieflings have always been like very popular. Drow are very popular. It is kind of interesting to see like Dragonborn so high, because they don't have that much reactivity in the game until you get later on. They have like maybe one. I know they have one for sure if you go Dark Urge in the Act 1. But Act 2, I don't think that they have any. They don't get really any interactivity until Act 3, which is a shame. You can kind of tell that they were added late into the development. But so it's kind of interesting to see them so high. Half orcs, and then it just drops off a cliff. It's kind of funny. And all the short races are very not popular, which I mean, I guess if you think about it, is kind of understandable, because they're short. They don't have as much movement, which is really restrictive in this game, in my opinion. I know that some people always run Longstrider, and so that turns out to be not that big of an issue, but I understand why people don't like these. They're short, and for a while they didn't have very good cinematics, or all the interactions with people had really odd or bad camera placement, especially when it came to romancing NPCs. These bottom three had a real difficult time with the camera, so which was kind of unfortunate, especially since halfling right now on my honor mode, that's what I'm running, is a halfling, because they get the lucky racial passive, which if you roll a 1 on anything, you can re-roll it, which is amazing. But you have to take that roll, but that roll will always be better than, or I mean, forcing you to take that roll is going to always be a good thing, because chances are it's going to be higher than a 1, which is what you rolled the first time. Yeah, but all three of these are very powerful, so it's kind of a shame to see them so low. Especially on Dragonborn, which only get a breath weapon and no dark vision, no nothing else other than looking dang cool. It's about all they got going for them, really. All three of these have so many passives and abilities that they can use. Halflings don't have dark vision, but they get that lucky racial feat that I was, or not a feat, but a racial bonus that they can use, which is amazing, super awesome. But anyway, let's continue on. Most popular subclasses: Barbarian, Berserker. Yep, that's to be expected. Honestly, the Wild Heart Barbarian is not popular at all because people don't like chance. They like to be able to control their fate, so to speak. Even though all the Wild Heart surges that can happen are are beneficial. They're not like the Wild Mage where you can have really bad stuff happen to you, like really game ending kind of stuff happen to you. Wild Heart Barbarians are not quite like that, but yeah, so Berserker, and then Bard, College of Lore, yep, very popular. Tempest Domain, 100%. That's pretty much the go-to for any cleric, is Tempest Domain. Very, very popular. Probably, if I were to guess, the second most popular would probably be War, and then probably Life Cleric for the heavy armor and the insane healing. Druid, Circle of the Moon. Yep, because Wild Shaping is cool. Battle Master Fighter with Open Hand, Oath of Vengeance. Yep, probably the most popular subclass of Paladin in all of D&D, and definitely Baldur's Gate. It follows. It's just extremely popular, or extremely powerful. Beastmaster Ranger, kind of surprised to see that because the Gloomstalker is very powerful. Gloomstalker is really, really good. It's one of the best subclasses of Ranger. So kind of surprised to see Beastmaster up top. Assassin Rogue. A little bit surprised to see that as well, because assassins, it doesn't, you don't really get much after the first turn, right? While the thief subclass gives you an extra bonus action, which is always beneficial. I mean, an extra bonus action, you can never go wrong with that. Action economy, bonus action economy, right? It's a major factor. It's a major balancing factor in Dungeons and Dragons, right? And so kind of breaking that, giving you an extra bonus action, that's a massive, power leap, right? Draconic Bloodline for Sorcerer. Yep, to be expected. The Fiend Warlock. It has some of the best passives. A really good spell selection as well. You get Fireball with the Fiend, so of course that's very, very popular. Evocation School for Wizard. Again, very popular and pretty much to be expected. Probably second place, I would probably put Necromancer in terms of popularity. And then probably Divination Wizard for the people going for a Tactician and Honor mode, just because you can make fate your own with Divination Wizard. Very powerful. 2 million players have survived a dinosaur attack. It's good. 84 million fireballs have been thrown, which is also the leading cause of eyebrow loss amongst wizards. Hey, got some fast facts in here. Alright, Scratch has been pet 48.5 million times. Well, you gotta pet the good boy. 113 million corpses have been spoken to. Awesome. And Shadowheart is the most popular romantic interest, with 51.3% of players reaching the final act of her romance arc, followed by Karlach and Lae'zel. Lae'zel kind of surprised me to see her as the third place there, just because there's other people like Gale. Gale is very easy to romance, so it's kind of surprising not to see him in that spot instead, or in Karlach's spot. But Shadowhearts is very satisfying, and she has a deep tie to the story, like how I said earlier, part of most people's parties, right? So it would go to follow that She would be the most popular romantic interest. All right, let's go to the next one. And the second tab is going to be even more awesome. That's over the weekend, but we'll get to that in a second. 14.4 million characters have been disintegrated into a pile of fine gray dust. That is unfortunate. 1.2 million characters have been compelled to dance against their will. You know, I think I've only used that like one time on my first playthrough. Like, I got it and I never ended up using it. I used every other spell in the book except for that. But I gotta use it more on my playthroughs that I'm going on now. 66% of players request that Halsin bear all. Well, by Act 2, 30.4% of players have given in to their Illithid side and flexed their powers. Fun fact, my first playthrough I didn't use Illithid powers at all. That was of the 70 or 60.6 whatever percent of people that did not use it. But on my next playthroughs, I definitely like used it. I wanted to check them out. Look at all that playtime. Next, over the weekend, 158,000 playthroughs were started in Honor Mode. That's quite a lot considering Honor Mode's only been out for a couple days, so that's quite a bit of characters. Over 34,000 players died in Honor Mode. I am actually kind of surprised to see that so high because of all the different ways that you can kind of cheese Honor Mode to not die. I'm not sure if the 34,000 players died, if that's counting each individual death or a total team party kill. I don't think that would be a total team party kill. I wouldn't imagine, because that's quite a bit. So there's a lot of different ways to prevent deaths in Honor Mode, or a total team party wipe in Honor Mode. You can leave someone towards the beginning of the dungeon. Sanctuary is a thing. There's a bunch of different other ways to be able to escape, to go back to Withers and revive your whole party with all their items intact and everything like that. So yeah, I would just imagine they're counting individual people, like characters. And 464 parties have already completed the game in Honor Mode, which is awesome. It's hard and I am scared playing it, honestly, because Tactician is pretty tough, right? It can be if you run into something unexpected, but all you gotta do is reload and then eventually you'll get through it, right? Like, Tactician is just more of a trial by fire kind of thing, and eventually you'll complete it, right? But Honor Mode, if you mess up, that's it, right? So it's kind of cool. 464 players. There's some really good players in Baldur's Gate. And it's awesome to see that many people earn the golden D20. And that's all I got for you guys. I just wanted to go over this like really quick, and hope you all have a wonderful day. Please like, subscribe, and tune in for more.